Hi guys, it's Ruthie. I'm getting ready to make some cinnamon roll monkey bread. I'm sure you'll see this all over Pinterest, the internet. So I'm going to give this a try and see how my family likes it. And these are the ingredients that I am using in my cinnamon roll monkey bread. So the first step that I'm going to do is mix my sugar and my cinnamon together. And I'm going to use a fork to make sure that I incorporate both of them very well. It's almost like a churro type flavor at this point, or using these two together. So I'm just going to mix it very well so I can dunk my cinnamon rolls in it. So in order to dunk the cinnamon rolls, I need to first cut them in quarters. Now I did try cutting them into smaller pieces, but I did not like that, so I just kept them in quarters, which was easy enough to do. However, this is a very messy part because the cinnamon wants to come out of the rolls. But other than that, this is like the most time consuming part of this whole recipe is just cutting the cinnamon rolls in quarters. So now the next thing that we need to do is to take the cinnamon roll pieces and put them into the sugar and cinnamon mixture. And we're going to give it a toss in there. I'm using a bowl and just stirring with a fork. You can put this in a baggie or a plate, however you feel comfortable with doing it, you can do it. So I'm going to layer the bottom with the pieces I just coated. And I want to do multiple layers, and you'll see shortly that I'm going to just put multiple layers. This is a fairly easy recipe to do, and it's fun and very, very good, by the way. So I'm going to put the first layer at the bottom, like you see there, and I did spray my butted pan very well with non-stick spray. So I'm going to add in the rest of the cinnamon rolls to the sugar, the cinnamon sugar, and then I'm going to repeat the process. As you'll see here, I'm going to repeat the process. And I'm also going to add in, at this point, before I put the second layer on, I'm going to add in the brown sugar and butter, which you'll see shortly. So I melted the butter, and I'm putting the brown sugar in and giving it a good whisk with the fork. And then I'm going to put maybe a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of vanilla just for a little extra flavor. And I'm going to stir this very well, and I'm going to pour this over the first layer of the cinnamon rolls in the butted pan. You don't want to pour too much, just enough to coat. And you'll see here, just enough to coat, and this is going to come out so ooey gooey in the end, you'll see. So then now I'm going to put the second layer on of my cinnamon rolls that have been tossed in the sugar and cinnamon. And I'm just going to repeat that process as I said before, just layer it. This is something that you can have for breakfast as a dessert, which is what I did. This was our weekly dessert. And this is really good. I'm so glad I did try this recipe. And it's super easy to make. And you don't have to use a button pan like I did. There's other forms of that you can do. You can even do this in muffin cups or muffin tins, and you probably could even do this in a sheet pan or a baking sheet, I mean. So everything is now layered. I'm going to pour in a little bit more of that butter, brown sugar mixture. This looks good already, and it smells really good. If you like cinnamon, this is going to be your treat. So I did bake it, and I leave the full recipe down below so that way you can follow along. And this is how it first came out. I did let it set for about 5 minutes before I put it on a plate. Now I did have difficulties getting this out, but it still came out perfectly. I used the icing from the cinnamon rolls to top it with the icing. It does make it a little bit sweeter, so if you don't want it too sweet, don't add the icing. But it was good. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you enjoy the video, and I will talk to you in the next one.